Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Daily Drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THF publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, Carolina football, an important game coming up Saturday as the Tar Heels host undefeated Pittsburgh Panthers are 4-0. They're averaging almost 49 points a game, and two of the wins at Cincinnati, at home against West Virginia, both come from behind victories in the fourth quarter. Panthers got a lot going for them right now, and this is a task for the Heels, but it is an important game. For all the negativity around Carolina's football team and program right now, the reality is they're still 3-2, and they've got a lot of winnable games ahead of these last 7. So as I talked about in the Tuesday Daily Drop, there is a chance, there's a path for this team to finish the season strong after starting out so-so, sort of flipping the storyline from the last 2 years. But it starts Saturday against Pitt. The game's at noon. It's on ESPN2, I believe. So I'm going to offer up 3 things to watch for that are important for the Tar Heels if they're going to end the 2-game losing streak, embarrassing losses, bad losses, and get back on winning track. The first thing is, how are they going to handle Pitt's ground game? And I asked that because they didn't handle Duke's. They did for the first half, didn't for the second half. Duke had a bunch of big runs in the second half. Star Thomas, I bet you Tar Heel defenders are still seeing him run in the backs of their minds because he was awesome and Carolina had no answer for him. Duke hit on 11 explosive plays in the last 23 minutes of the game. That's one every other minute. That's a lot. And then obviously they didn't have the ball that much. So the Tar Heels must slow Pitt's run game, and it's a run game that's averaging around 208 yards per contest. So as good as Pitt is in the pass game, it's playing complementary football offensively with balance as an excellent run game. Some of you may know who Pitt's best running back is because he's a transfer from Western Carolina. His name is Desmond Reed. He's only 5'8", 175 pounds, but man, he can go. He's got 6 runs of 15 or more yards. He's racking up a lot of yardage. He's getting a lot of work for them. And he is one of those speed dudes in the backfield that forces a defense to absolutely track him wherever he goes. They can use him in myriad ways. So stopping the run, popping him some, and also containing Eli Holstein, the quarterback who can move. He's got some decent runs this year. He can be a weapon at times as well. So the Tar Heels must minimize the ground attack for Pittsburgh if they're going to have a chance to win this game. The next thing is, can they get pressure on Holstein? Now, Holstein spent last season as a true freshman at Alabama. That's where he went, big-time recruit. But he transferred. He's at Pitt now as a redshirt freshman. He's averaging 300 yards a game. He has 3 straight 300-yard games, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, NFL rating of 121.1. He's been sacked 11 times. And Pitt QBs, because Nate Yarnell's played a little, have been hurried 37 times. So that's a lot, but it's not a ton. But it's enough that you can get to Holstein. Carolina has a pass rush, especially if Kamen Rucker's back. It will open the door for a little bit more creativity from Jeff Collins. Because to be fair, and Tyler Thompson and Jabron Harvey, redshirt freshman, young guys, not 100% ready to handle that role. They moved Jacoby Cowan there the other day. He's a 3-technique guy, basically. He could play 3-technique, defensive end. They had him at times in pass coverage in that rush position. You'd rather have Rucker there. You'd rather have Rucker coming off the edge. You'd rather have Rucker putting a hand on the ground and beating a tackle. That changes stuff for your defense. That also will make it easier for Carolina to get pressure on Holstein. So if they can, and they could put them in some 3rd and longs, 2nd and longs, force him to throw the ball quickly on a 3rd down situation, the Heels have a chance to get off the field and minimize the productivity of Pitt. Again, this is a team averaging over 48 points a game, just under 49. So the Heels have a giant task, but these are the 2 recipes. Sounds simple, but it's very, very challenging. but this team has the composition to do some of that. Maybe if they give up a lot of rushing yards, but really get to Holstein, there's a path to win. Maybe Holstein has a big day, but Pitt doesn't run the ball much, and Pitt becomes predictable. That's a path right there for the Tar Heels to earn a win. The other thing is very simple. I know that sometimes people are like, guys are ready or they're not ready, whatever. I think readiness is a huge thing. I think readiness is big because it reflects human nature. And anybody that's been paying attention to our podcasts and our work at Tar Heel Illustrated, they know that Jacob and I are huge on human nature, because human nature hits us every day in life, and it finds its way onto the fields and courts of play. And given the kinds of losses the Tar Heels are coming off of, there's no doubt human nature could be a huge factor this week. I thought they did a really good job. The staff, kudos to them, did a really good job cutting the cord to the JMU game, because with 8.5 minutes left Saturday night, it's 20-0 North Carolina, and Duke had 97 yards. But then the bottom fell out. They got to avoid that. It's difficult to avoid that. It's difficult when a defense starts getting frustrated for coaches to change that frustration. I asked Jeff Collins on Monday in the press conference, how do you coach frustration? He said it's real hard. It is hard. Maybe having a Kamen Rucker back, if he plays, makes it not as hard. And perhaps the frustration doesn't settle in much because the defense plays better. But the team as a whole has to be ready, because they were bad in all three phases in many respects in that game. They were terrible offensively late. They scored 3 points in their last 8 possessions. They had another punt block. They had a 20-yard punt. Some weird stuff going on, and it didn't look like polished football. No way on earth this team comes away from a win without playing supremely polished football against Pitt. And in order to play polished football, they've got to be in the right frame of mind. And then when adversity hits, they must deal with it. I thought they handled adversity really well at Minnesota. They did not handle it well last week, and they sure did not handle it well against James Madison. If they can reverse that and flip it back to where it was in Minneapolis, they got a chance Saturday, because if they have that kind of mindset, I think they'll do a decent job against the run, and then it's up to whatever kind of pressure they could put on Holstein and how the Heels cover. That's it. Sounds simple, very, very hard. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing how Carolina rallies itself. There's too much talent there, and there should be too good a coaching staff. A lot of people who've achieved a lot should be able to get this thing right, and at the minimum, be very competitive well into the fourth quarter with a chance to win. They should do that. I'm not sure I'm projecting that to happen, but they should do that. And if these three things, the Tar Heels cake there, I want you to watch these three things, and if they're on the plus side in all three areas, Carolina will have a chance to win this game. It's ACC football, man. Surprising stuff happens. Just ask Miami last Friday night against Virginia Tech. Anyway, if you believe that if watching these three things, if that's what Carolina does well and they show up and they're on the plus side and they win, or do you think that they will win this game? Excuse me. If you do, go ahead and click like on this video. If you don't, go ahead and click like on this video. Just click like on the video, man. That's all. Just click like on the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't to the channel. And make sure you tell your Carolina friends about us and hit that notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And by the way, TarHeelIllustrated.com. That's our site, just $8.33 a month. You can be a Carolina Tar Heel insider too. At Heel Illustrated, no S in the middle there. Heel Illustrated is our Twitter, and our Facebook page is Tar Heel Illustrated. Go sign up, check us out, follow us, do all that fun stuff. I'm AJ, and I will see you guys after the game Saturday at Kenan Stadium.